Oh, that's also what I was going to tell you about. What I was talking about what happened to me a little over a week ago. That kind of still like kind of freaks me the fuck out. So this was about. Granted, like I was kind of like like it's getting to that time of year, about like dad and stuff like that. So I was kind of like already in my own kind of like state of mind, kind of sad. It was October 24th, so like a little over a week ago. So before that, so the night before, so Monday night, I remember I went to bed, and I had this very insane, like I don't know if it was a nightmare or a dream, but it was so like like those like dreams that you have that feel so real. Mm-hmm. I had one of those, and I'm aware that when I was younger, because my sister has talked about it, that when I was younger I had night terrors. Mm-hmm. And so basically it felt so similar to that because it felt so fucking real that Kirby had to wake me up because he was coming over and he woke me up. And because I remember I had to get up for school, it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I just remember like I did not feel good at all, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna lay back down. And then I had this insane dream, and the dream was about an exorcism. When and where it took place at the old house. So it was me in the dream. It was me, my brother, sister, so Zach and Rian, and this one chick that I was apparently close to. That like now I would have no idea about. So I didn't know who this chick was, but apparently in this dream I was very close with her. I don't know if we're like dating or anything, but I could literally draw a picture of what she looked like. It was that real. But like we were going to do like a seance of some sort at the old house. No one lived at the house. It was like abandoned, but it still looked exactly the same before we left or moved out. And I remember like we did the seance, and I guess it kind of sped through, because I don't remember like all of it, but like I remember like it sped through, and then like all of a sudden like shit that you would see in the freaking Conjuring movies like started to happen. And so like like the house like started shaking, and freaking like the roof was like little shambles were falling and all that. And then all of a sudden the girl that I was close with starts to like shake and like freak out, and turns out that she was getting possessed. And so she was getting all like, it was normally what you would see in like the Exorcist movies, like she starts freaking floating, the house is fucking going shenanigans. And so I remember in the dream I'm freaking the fuck out because I'm terrified of exorcisms. But then there's part where I get violent, where I get up because the demon or whatever starts talking out of her, and I get violent, I get up in its face, and I'm like, you get the fuck out of her right now. And then so like it got to the point where like it was a full on fist fight. Like I got thrown across the wall, I started throwing punches, like, and Zuck and Rian were just standing there just fucking terrified and frozen. And just I remember like it felt just like The Exorcist, like what you'd see in one of the movies. Like it felt so intense. And so I remember like Zach and Rian were like yelling at me, it's like only you need to go find like a priest or somebody, I don't care who it is, just go. And so I left the house, and somehow I met like a priest at like a parking lot of some sort. And I was like, okay. Then he started talking to me. It's like, okay, it's like he knew. It's like, okay, I need to help you. And then like out of nowhere, like I see the girl like floating over, but apparently it wasn't her. It was like a fucking hallucination I was having, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we need to go back to the house, but I can't go back. I physically can't go back to the house. And so like out of nowhere, I black out. And then like I get a call from the guys, and apparently they're at the house being like, dude, is everything alright? I heard what happened, yada yada. And apparently, like the roof is halfly caved in and stuff like that. And like the police are there and stuff, and like they're like at the house. I was like, dude, are you here? I was like, no. It's like, and then I told them, I was like, I physically can't go back. Like I was terrified to go back to the old house. Like I didn't care if at that point, like I didn't care if it was my childhood home. I could not go back, and it was just so weird. And like I remember I woke up, and Kirby woke me up from the dream, and like I remember when I woke up, I still felt like I was in the dream. So I was wondering why he was waking me up, and for a while, like I was like still like I was paranoid when I first woke up, because I legitimately still thought there was a demon roaming around the house at Stacy's. So I got up, I freaking like got in the bathroom sink, freaking like try to get out of my head, like wash my face and whatnot. And Kirby's like, "Are you okay?" It's like, "Yeah, I think so." And just it was just so bizarre. And then what was weird is that he wanted to go to walk to King Soopers down at 71st to grab a coffee, and so we did that because I was trying to get my mind off it. And so we're sitting down at King Soopers, we have our coffee, we're just hanging out, and out of nowhere, like I just don't fucking feel good. Like I feel like I'm about to vomit. And so like I told him, I was like, we need to leave, and he's like, why? And I was like, I don't fucking feel good. So like we get up, we started walking back, and halfway back on the bridge thing, I stopped right by, threw up. And like it's not like I ate anything, because like it was just like bile, and then like even though there was nothing, because I was trying to fight it. Like I have a strong like immune system, but like walking back, like as I was trying to fight it, it just made it hurt more, because it just kept like there was nothing backing it down. So I was like, all right, I just need to let this out, even though I fucking hate puking. But yeah, but like I puked, and like Kirby said like, oh yeah, dude, like you were like shaking, and like there at some point when I couldn't even throw up anymore, because like I started like dry heaving and shit like that. I had to like sit down on the sidewalk for a second. It was bad. Like I was warm, I was shaking, I was sweating, and then like after that, like I went to sleep back at the house, and Kirby was telling Stacey what happened. I wasn't feeling good, and then like after that, like I felt fine, and I just like I never had that such an intense of like a dream like that. Yeah, exorcist dreams. Of all dreams, and it's the one thing I'm freaking terrified of. And not only that, like 2 hours after I woke up, I threw up, and I never get that sick, never.
So a couple scenarios with that is, they say of course dreams are like, they can be a foretelling. They can be basically what kind of mental state you're in, what kind of stress you're under. That, or you had something that was trying to come across to you that was not good. So there's several different roles that because
I just don't know what that could be, because I've never had that happen to me ever. Like it was like even now I still get freaked out by it, because like that's never happened to me. I mean, I've had intense dreams, but to the point when I wake up and I feel fucking ill. Like that was, I mean, granted, like I wasn't feeling good, but when I woke up before I had the dream, but the fact that I had that much of a vivid dream, I'm just like so that's why I wanted to tell you about that, because I was kind of wondering what scenarios behind that would be, because again, like I said, like I've never had anything like intense happen to me to that extent, so I don't know necessarily what that was, but that was freaking but that was recent. That was crazy. Well, also if you want to, you can tell them what you told me about what happened last year when you guys were here and all that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That situation. Well, I got a couple. I don't know if I told you about the one too where our good friends of ours lived in the trailer park over there on 11th.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Gentleman. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that one was bad. I've never had anything. Even the whole situation that took place here, compared to what took place over at that was the most.
I can edit. It's okay.
Can I add on? Can I add on to
Can you
like
pause it?
and stop it?
Yeah. All right, so we had a little intermission. Just want to address that. But now we're back, and we're talking about Ken, right?
Yep. Yeah. So a couple of good friends of ours that BJ previously worked with. They live in a trailer house. In a not so good area, and then this friend started having episodes where he thought that the neighbors were actually messing with him and putting in cameras, like spy cameras, and he could hear them talking, but he said he could hear them talking like really close to his head. So it got to a pretty serious point where he actually turned himself into being held, because he was afraid of what could happen. So my husband actually went over and tried to look for these cameras. Couldn't find anything. So one weekend, BJ got a phone call to go and check on him. So I was with him at the time, so we went over there. And I said, I'll just stay in the truck. You go in. Check on him. I don't want to overwhelm him. Just, go check on him. So as I'm sitting in the truck, I just had this god-awful, nauseating feeling. And it wasn't just one particular part of the trailer park. It was the whole area. And I kept saying, probably 4 to 5 times out of the corner of my right eye, because the trailer sits here and the driveway sits kind of like catty corner. So I'm in the passenger seat, but out of this, in the front of the trailer sat, like this. I could see a black shadow cross 4 or 5 times out of this side of my eye. My nerves were shot. I felt like I was going to throw up. I got to a point where I was actually ready to open up the truck door and throw up. That's how intense, how negative the energy was there. It was horrible. So then, of course, I can hear the chit-chatter in my ears.
Yeah.
And it's just, I couldn't handle it, but I fought it. So, and then the interesting part is my husband came out, and he didn't even get a word out of his mouth, and I said, we need to get out of here as fast as we possibly can.
Yeah.
And he goes, is it okay? I said, no. I said, whatever's here is bad. It's not good. I said, I'm going to puke. It's that intense, I'm going to throw up. Like, this is not good. He goes, well, do you think they're after? I said, oh yeah, they're after him. That's obvious. They're trying to infiltrate him.
Yeah.
But it's not just this, it's all around me. This whole area is not good news. So he said, okay, we'll get out of here as soon as we can. I want to go talk to him. So I said, fine, do what you got to do. Because his wife was actually in the process of coming home from work from clear up on the mountain. She was coming down. So we kind of, was waiting for her. But in the meantime, of course, I'm fighting whatever this negative shit is. Whenever you see black shadows, it's not good.
Oh yeah.
That's your negative entity. So I'm fighting this thing. I'm to the point where I'm getting angry. Like, I'm getting extremely angry with this, and I'm using the F word, the whole 9. Well, the interesting part is I got really nasty with it, and the truck alarm at the place across and over started going off, just out of nowhere. Nobody was out there, nobody was near it, nothing. The truck alarm just started going off. I said, okay, yeah, you're trying to distract me. Like, fuck you, this is,
Yeah.
Finally, thankfully, his wife got there, and I told her, I'm telling you now, whatever's here, I said, it's not good.
Yeah.
You need to get him out of here now. Because he was there 24/7. He spent his time doing crafts, and he'd make masks and draw awesome pictures. He'd draw stuff on his phone. Really awesome guy.
Yeah.
But whatever's there was really taking a toll on him. And he actually one night come here because they were in the process. Thankfully, they did move away from there.
Yeah.
They're up in the mountains now, but he was in the process of them moving. So he can't be out, come stay here so you don't have to drive.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to stay there. That was the main thing, was keeping him out of there.
Yeah.
So he came here. I literally stayed up all night with him, talking to him, and he's like, am I just crazy? And I said, no. I said, you're not crazy. You're not crazy at all.
Yeah.
This stuff is trying to get to you. And it kind of started to click for him what was really happening. And then the next day, he knew that he had to go back over there. I have never seen somebody so anxiety-driven about going somewhere as he was. He was on the verge of throwing up in our driveway. He kept pacing. He was turning white. He was a totally different person from who I was talking to earlier to that moment of having to go back there, because he did not want to go back.
Yeah.
It messed with him that badly. So that goes to show you the aspect of the negative energies and bad entities, what it does to somebody. Because it really did a job on him. I mean, I was really worried for him. And thank God he got out of there.
Yeah.
But he also said that he felt to an aspect that, some of the stuff followed him. Because he would go out and have a cigarette, and he would see shit out of his, peripheral vision. So, that's very possible, but, you gotta stay in a mindset where you're stronger.
Yeah.
And tell them that you are stronger. They don't like that, because I've done it to them before, too. I'm stronger than you are.
Yeah.
But they don't appreciate that because they think they're stronger.
Yeah, they're trying to overcome.
And I firmly believe that's why they set the alarm off on that truck, because that's what I was telling them.
Yeah.
I'm stronger than you. Basically, fuck you, I'm stronger than you. You're not, you're not for my greater good. Get lost. So, last I knew, he's doing well now. So yeah, it was good. It's good to get him out of that situation.
Yeah. So this was last year?
This was actually not even a year ago. It was last summer. This last summer.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like really fresh.
Yeah, very fresh.
Well, because I remember you also telling me it took place here, where it was kind of like basically like an exorcism kind of thing.
Yeah,
that you told me.
Yeah, it really was. And this one took place over a year ago. We had a friend of ours that was staying with us at the time. And he had actually had an experience. He lived in Missouri at one point. He had an experience with the Sally House. So anybody who's ever heard about the Sally House knows it's not good news.
I don't think I know too much about the Sally House.
It's demonic.
Yeah, I think I've heard small things, but not like...
It's demonic. Like, we're talking straight out demonic stuff.
Yeah.
And he actually had to seek help for it because of what followed him. And he didn't even go inside the building, he was outside the building. And all he did was place his hands on the door. He'd been drinking. You do dumb shit when you're drinking. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he was at the Sally House, put his hands on the door. That's all he did. Mm-hmm. And it followed him back to that place. Yeah. So he had to seek help. He actually had to go through shamans to seek help for it. But I don't think... My personal belief is it's still with him. I don't think it really ever got fully resolved. Yeah. Because the incident that took place here, right where we're at, right here on my porch, I don't know what came across us to, start screwing around with the ghost app and, getting into that kind of stuff. I mean, we had the incense going. At that point, we had what you call Palo Santo, which is a very powerful incense. Smells amazing. Yeah. But it's very powerful. Spirits don't like Palo Santo. Stuff gets really hairy when you get Palo Santo going. Mm-hmm. Palo Santo is often used for cleansings. Yeah. So we had the ghost apps going. At that time, we had a couch here and a couch over on the other side. He was sitting in a chair, and of course we were going through, and then stuff started coming through that started connecting. Certain things were connecting. Names. His tattoo, one of his tattoos came across, and he had that actual tattoo on him. So it was, it was just odd things were happening, and stuff was starting to click, and names were coming across that were clicking, and it got really, really intense. But then it got to the point where he was provoking, and he was getting pretty angry. And then it started referencing the kids because, my son Adam was out here, and also his son was out here. So of course that pissed him off, and he said, "You leave these fucking kids alone. If you're gonna do anything, you fuck with me. You don't fuck with these kids." And then of course my smart ass child decides to tell the ghost to suck on his big old man titties. So we got a good chuckle out of that, but then things just progressed from there. Yeah. Stuff that was coming across on there was just too real. And Sally House actually came across on the reader. He actually had two phones. He had his phone, and his wife at the time had her phone. And Sally House popped up on there. So then all of a sudden he just, fuck no. And he just changed into a totally different person. He stood up out of the chair, both phones fell to the floor, and I was like, okay, what the hell just happened? He disappears into the house. Not even probably a minute later, he comes out of the house, he ain't got a shirt on, and he's just, like, he's beat red, he's sweating, and then he takes off out my front door. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to observe what's happening. Yeah. So he goes to the railing on the front porch, and he's got his hands up there, and he's kind of got his head down. And then his head's just kind of, kind of like when you see a person that's pretty obliterated drunk, how they get the wobble, the head wobble? Yeah. That's what he was doing. And then I seen him come across and sit down on the bench that's out front. Mm-hmm. Well, then his wife at the time went out there, and then about that time, she goes, "Amanda, I need you out here now." So I got up, I went out, and I looked him directly in the face, trying to talk to him. Mm-hmm. His eyes were black. There was no irises. There was no pupils. His eyes were jet black. And he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because I was doing this in front of his face, doing that type of thing. He wasn't there. He was not there. So I holler at Adam to get my rosary. I said, I need it now. Well, at that time, there's a train that's coming through. We have the train tracks right there. You've been here many times. There's a train. There's a train that came through. That train was so loud and so fast. I have never heard a train move that fast and that loud through here. In the whole 7 years that I've been here.
Yeah.
Ever. There was sparks flying off the wheels of that train. That's how fast it was going that night. In that moment.
That's insane.
So then, I had Adam bring my rosary out, and I placed it on him. And when I do my prayers in that particular situation, I don't say them out loud.
Yeah.
You know, I center myself in the night. So I wrapped the rosary. I didn't place it across, but I laid it from one shoulder to the other, and then I held onto the cross.
Yeah.
And I did, my praying. Well, about that time, all of a sudden, he just kind of comes to, and he starts coughing shit up. I mean, he was coughing stuff up. He literally had to turn to the side and cough stuff up. Well, our friend, and then of course Adam, each one of them had the phones, and one came across as shepherd, the other one said prayer. That was one of the prayers that I was doing over him when this stuff was taking place. So, call it an exorcism,
I mean, that's basically the closest thing to it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was being taken over, and you had to use the rosary and the prayer to help. That's basically what kind of happens in an exorcism. So technically, the black eyes and the train. I remember you telling me that. So my jaw generally dropped because I can't imagine.
He stated that when he was in his trance, across the street there, where the two houses separate the white fence. He said there was a gentleman over there that was kind of he described him as, to me, what would look like the Jeepers Creepers guy.
Yeah.
Except more of a death figure.
Yeah.
Grim Reaperish type, kind of skeleton.
Yeah.
But in the Jeeper Creeper getup.
Yeah.
And he was going like this, waving at him come on. So. Yeah,
that's insane.
I never did anything with him after that particular incident.
I wouldn't either. I mean, that's legit. That at that point, that's where you just don't fuck with it anymore.
Yeah, and I think whatever. I mean, the whole Sally House instance was not.
Yeah.
That was not good.
I think since I'll do my own research on the Sally House on my own time to learn more about that because that has me interested. That's freaking. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that stuff. I mean, as far as Sally House goes, it's straight up demonic, satanic.
Yeah.
It's nasty. It's bad. It's bad. Bad news.
I mean, like I said, I know I'm basically just getting started, and now that I'm 18, I can actually go to places and have experiences of my own as far as paranormal because I'm very fascinated with it. And granted, I never had all these experiences, so that's why I'll always ask questions and whatnot because I'm intrigued. I have been for most of my life and whatnot. And so, what else did I want to cover?
But whoever they were searching for, they couldn't find because everybody was lined up across both sides. And then a sheriff's officer, he was parked down the way, and he got out of his car and walked down. He was looking underneath, searching that whole area. Those guys that were in the brush truck, they drove down into there and was searching everything. They were there until
they were there
late.
for about 5-6 hours, and all the fire trucks, ambulances, and all that went to the parking lot. Well, we walked out into the street because on our street you can see straight down into the parking lot. Well, they were all going into the field. Well, I was standing out there, and all I see is, because one fire truck left, and as the one fire truck was leaving, a white truck was pulling in with a white camper shell on, and that's the Weld County coroner, yeah. Well, and it was really weird because it just happened so quick, and then one of the fire trucks, because there's two bridges over here that run over the South Platte. There's one way over here and there's one over there, just down the road a little bit. Well, one fire truck went that way to the other bridge, and they are like over, like flying to over there, and the rest of them stayed over here, but they kept going behind, like over here, and they were out there looking for someone, like she said, they had vests on, everything, lifeboat in the water.
The suits that they wear.
Yeah, the suits. They even like there's even a road that goes down to like where the start of the trail is over there by the river, and there was I would say about 4 or 5 Weld County cop cars, 2 ambulances. And they were all out just wearing live vests and like this brush truck suits, all that. And then they were walking. The one, or as we were going by, the one sheriff was walking down the trail and went straight instead of turning like you're supposed to.
Yeah, he went clear down to the barriers to hold the bridge up.
Yeah,
he was down in that area, and that was just over the side.
And we've walked that trail before too to go to the gas station. Mm-hmm. It's easier than crossing the highway.
This last summer.
Just this last summer, yeah.
That's insane.
I want to say May. I think it was around May, June.
Yeah, May, June, around May and June. Yeah. The end of June, early May. Yeah.
Somewhere in that.
Yeah.
That's. Because I remember it was warm, but it wasn't like hot yet.
And another thing to do with the Platte. This was, I'd say, back when TJ was a senior in high school. We were going out to Kersey, where they have the wrestling, because he was a wrestler, and wrestling regionals. And as we were going out there was a fire truck and 3 Weld County police cars parked over by this bridge that's over here. Mm-hmm. And they all had their lights on and like crime scene tape. Yeah. And there was a van, there was a shoe, and then they were all down by the river, like walking. And we don't know what happened, no news articles, nothing.
Yeah, that's crazy. We never saw anything about what took, what we were just talking about. Never found anything on that either.
That's insane.
And there's a lot of history too that runs on that highway that runs over that river too.
Mm-hmm. Now we just had a gentleman that was killed on that highway.
Yeah, he was highly intoxicated.
Floored it, hit the railroad tracks. His car went airborne, and he took out 2 other vehicles.
Yeah, he took out 2 other vehicles. Ended up, he died from injuries. But
want to come out, Boosh? I can cut this stuff out. Sorry. I'll be editing quite a bit,
but he died from injuries.
You can do it, Ellie. Ellie, come on. There you go. Ooh, spot out for the tripod.
What's your big old thing? And he's pissing again.
We can edit this part. I can use it for bloopers for the end.
Yeah, it's still recording. We are at 19%.
Oh shit! Okay. We're getting towards the end, so
yeah. But we were talking about the what happened with that car crash.
I love you too. We got something to finish up here.
Go lay down.
Boosh, come on.
Go lay down.
Lay down.
Go lay down right over here. She's like, I hear something. Let's stop. Gotta investigate. And we're maybe. I'll think about it. Well, first I gotta see the people. And see, look, you pushed it open. Good job. No, just Jesus Christ.
Let's continue.
Alright.
Anyways,
yeah.
Where were we?
We were talking about how the gentleman died from injuries.
That was an interesting night too.
And like
it was July.
Yeah, in July
when that happened.
Yeah, and they had because it was a fatality. They had both sides of the highway.
They had it shut down so long that at first they had a cop car sitting there. Then they actually brought in one of those trucks that has the light up signs on it. That the road was shut down.
Yeah, and because I was up with my grandma. And I was coming home that same day too. Mm-hmm. Well, we couldn't turn onto the highway, so we had to go straight. Well, we went the back way, and there's just a shit ton of cops making sure you can't get onto the highway. Well, we get into town. Well, we're like, I wonder if they have it open now. Well, we come back in, and as we're in like the town, we're coming down. Well, we pulled over because they had it closed, and my grandma got out and was talking to one of the truckers that was in there, an oversized load trucker. Yeah. He had to park because he couldn't go anywhere, you know. He was too big to fit down all these back roads and stuff. And he was telling her that there was a fatality, a car crash fatality, and the cop told them that it's probably going to be 6-7 hours until the highway opens up again.
It was.
And it was really long, yeah.
Or something that afternoon.
Yeah.
It didn't open up again until damn near 11 o'clock that night.
Yep. And then what's crazy is, like, another story with this highway, because this highway's been around for years, you know. And another story with it, with another fatality, was a family, because on the other side of LaSalle, you go over this bridge and there's a dirt road there.
Yeah.
Well, a family was driving home from church, and a drunk driver had hit them and killed 3 of the 4 that were in the car.
The mom survived.
The husband and the 2 kids died. The one kid just began kindergarten, and the other one was just beginning preschool. And yeah, they died. And the drunk driver died too. So it was a 4 fatality basically. And yeah.
Something I also want to do for a future reference is, like, this is unrelated to Riverside or Hudson, but there is haunted ice cream shop up in downtown Fort Collins, and I know I've been wanting to go there. I remember it was actually a story. Me and the guys want to go up there, so we went up there on like a Saturday afternoon, and we went there, and like we were going to go in, but like we couldn't go in because it was like so busy, and like the line was coming like out to like the public like sidewalk, and I was like, oh shit. So we're gonna figure out a time like to go there, like maybe during the week. That way we can go in later. It's as busy as, because I guess like in like the basement of that place there used to be like a what's it called, where like they used to like keep bodies.
Morgue.
A morgue, yeah. They said that there was a morgue down there. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of want to go ahead and check that out if we can. And, like, I know like they're still in business, so like I don't know what like the priorities are there. But I feel like, that's something on the list. I was wondering if that was something that you guys would be down for as well.
Absolutely.
Alright, so that's a future reference. Hudson will definitely be future.
We can also do the courthouse here in Greeley because it's also haunted. Mm-hmm. The train station.
Yeah.
Is another one.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
You can actually get if you talk to the right person, you can actually get ghost tours of the courthouse.
Yeah, there's actually a Weld County Paranormal or something.
Yeah, when I was in 7th grade, we went and visited the courthouse, and they took us to the haunted clock thing, the haunted courtroom.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but the camera's about to die. I think we covered everything. I don't know how long this is gonna be, but I'll see you guys in the third part where we're getting ready for Riverside tomorrow. Hopefully I get the guys over here. We're planning all that. And any last things you guys want to say? Or?
No, I think we covered it.
Alright, well, I'm not sure how long this has been. Probably like over an hour.
This one is 42 minutes. The other one was 30 something.
Yeah, so it's been over an hour.
It's gonna be a long one.
Yeah, but so I'm very excited and get some spooky shit. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Jump attack, change! Mom, get the fuck out! Okay, hold on! Whoa! We have a she.